Well, hey, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, be it where you are, and hope y'all are enjoying Friday Eve. That's right, tomorrow's Friday. For many of you, that means a great weekend staring you down. Hope you do have a great one. Welcome aboard Flying with Mike. We are going to be taking a nice little jaunt. We were supposed to do this last Friday, but we're doing it today. Here from Algiers, Algeria up to an interesting town for me, at least for you all, just another town, and some may live there, St. Louis, France. I was going to say, folks, if you think that little guy sitting on the screen can go from Algeria to St. Louis, I'm pretty sure we'd run out of fuel, maybe, just before entering the United States. If not, we'd have to stop in Bermuda. But anyway, no, we are actually going, and it's called, and I'm sure the correct pronunciation is St. Louis, France. Well, I'm from St. Louis, here in Missouri. Well, outside of St. Louis. We're going to go with St. Louis. So, but no, that I have a good feeling that it is St. Louis. So, but anyway, again, I want to welcome you in. I hope you all have a great time. As you can tell, we got clear skies out of here in Algiers. Kind of doesn't surprise me. But anyway, but we're headed up to France. We will be on VATSIM and hopefully not causing too much trouble. Flying for Millennium Aviation today. And if you're interested, we'll give this a couple times through, hopefully a couple times throughout the stream. No guarantees. Sometimes we get so busy we forget to do some things, but check them out, folks. They are an amazing airline. A lot of aircraft for you with a lot of liveries and several divisions we'll get into more as we get going. So let's get up into the bird and let's get ready to fly from Algiers over to St. Louis, or as we Yanks call it, St. Louis, France. All right, so there you are, folks. You're in the A319 from ToLiss. Uh, just ToLiss is just an amazing group. I still wish I could get into that ACARS and try it out with ATC. I just never can find anyone up running it, willing to use it, and when they're logged in. That makes no sense to me, but hey, maybe I'm over inflating what it can do. But it looks phenomenal. So, but anyway, here we go. So we are basically in a position where we're ready to push back. We'll talk about that here. We'll be right back after the break here, folks, and talk some more about this flight from Algiers to St. Louis, France. All right, folks, I can't tell if we actually went to the ad. I'm queued up. There it goes on my laptop. I'm going to say I was queued up on my OBS here, but I'm not seeing it over here on my laptop, and I'm guessing time lapse. So, anyway, folks, interesting. That was supposed to be muted. Why did not mute? Huh. Technology. Go figure it. I'd rather not. But anyway, we're glad you're here, folks. Subscribers, you're the ones hearing us, and without you all, some of the aircraft wouldn't be here. And we thank you for both the subscriptions and gifting to other people. We hope you appreciate the ad-free viewing in return, and hope I can help you out also as well. But thank you in advance for your subscriptions to the channel so you get that ad-free viewing. Yes, intentionally plugged for you all that are following. Hey, I'd love you all to follow the channel so that way you can follow us on future adventures. Now, Saturday we're doing a special Saturday flight. It is the end of Twitch's September subscription month that they give pretty decent deals to you folks if you want to subscribe to your favorite viewers to get that ad-free viewing. 25% going off on your Tier 1 purchases, Tier 2 as well, 30% at Tier 3. Folks, those are pretty good discounts here, so take advantage. You only have like 2 days, I think it is now, 2 or 3 days. Let's call it 3 days, just to be safe. Folks, if you wait until Saturday at midnight to do it, you may have missed out, because I don't know the time zone they're working with. So give them love, folks. Those streamers you love to listen to, I'm sure they would love it. Folks, we hope we're one of those, so feel free. But what we do ask, and we request, we really don't ask you to do it, is to follow us. So, but anyway, we're going to get going because, you know, it's still about 500 miles away where we got to go. So, all right. So like I said before the break, we are cold. We were cold and dark, but I took advantage of some time and basically got the plane all set up and ready to roll. So let's take a look at what I did real quick. Quick recap here, because I got a couple things I need to get back to where they were prior. All right, so we have our lights set. Batteries are on. Obviously, we're on some kind of either external or internal power. We're on the APU. And we also have the APU bleed on. So I'm going to go ahead and set this back into the middle, keep the cockpit as is. These are your cabin and cockpit temperature controls, so you can, you know, get those. It's just need to back here. We can kick a little heat back there. Oh, I'm way too hot, man. Can you turn the heat down? Go the other way. So we have that all set up. We're in a pack flow of normal now. Could wiggle here. I'm going to keep it there. A lot of times we'll go low with a loadout we have today. But today I'm going to keep it at normal. I also have the IRS 80 years aligned. So we're going to get that back to our normal P position. So look at it as POS as P position. I'm going to use system 2 and we're looking good. I'll be honest. I don't know any difference here other than we're using specific system. I don't know. So you real Airbus pilots are getting a good chuckle out of me. So all right, and we're basically set up here. I just wanted to hang out here. We have ground control on, so we could do a cockpit voice recorder test. Listen to that. Let's do a quick. I know you love it. Oh my gosh, the fire lights. There we go. And both are working good. The APU's running, so we'll leave the test alone on that. We already did it before firing up. All right. So let's bring Sim Toolkit in real quick. We're out of here. As they say in St. Louis, we'll blow this popsicle stand. They might say. Well, now, I have not done that one. Wow, I really was off. Sorry about that, folks. I really hit the wrong button on that one. All right, so we're back on Sim Toolkit now, hopefully. Yep, we are. Ooh. All right, now, a little modification to the flight plan you see up here. That's not the St. Louis you know. Well, didn't you know St. Louis is French? And didn't you know the A319 could make it? Welcome in, Downwind Sim. All right, so like I said, a little modification. Here is today's flight plan. Let you all see it, and I'll tell you the modification. We actually put in a departure. Don't get lost. I'm in LA, aren't I? Thanks, Downwind Sim, for stopping by. We're going to be doing the PECES 5, I believe it's called. Hang on, I'm going to check real quick. Oh, what did we call this booger? PC1 Charlie departure. All right, hang on, let's do that. See if it gets us where we be, and it does. I love when a plan comes together. All right, basically, and I'll bring it up here as well. We're going to be cutting off, folks. We're going to be cutting off actually probably about 10 pages of fixes in our flight log. No, just kidding. I'll get into the background of that little comedy I just did there. Instead of just going to PECES and starting on the airway as you see there, what I've done, oh, Lower Arkansas, that is correct. I was thinking Lower Afton, but you know, hey. Again, if you know John Goodman, folks, the actor, comedian, he's from LA, Lower Afton, here in St. Louis. So, anyway, great actor, by the way, great actor. If you haven't seen a movie, and folks, it didn't get a lot of pull always, oh, highly recommend it. He'll probably want to sick Guido on me and take legs off for me saying that, but I love that movie with firefighting, forest firefighting, and the aircraft. Just, I loved it. Even though it is kind of a chick flick. But anyway, it was a good movie. So, but anyway, what we did is we are going to still go to PECES. We're going to knock off these two fixes. So there's 2 pages off our log. And up to MHN. So, and we'll, like I said, show that here in a minute. So, real quick. So again, disregard a little bit of this here in the beginning because we're going to start it on the uniform November 853 from MHN. All right. So today's weather. Bet you'll never guess what it's like in Algeria, the northern end of Sahara Desert. Yep, that kind of nails it down for you, doesn't it? Clear, visibility okay, 26 degrees Celsius, and wind out of the north. That one kind of blows me away, but you know, hey. Great day here coming out of Algeria. Now up in France, another clear and variable, or visibility okay, 28 degrees. It's actually warmer in France than down in the Sahara. Go figure that one. And the winds are variable. So we'll be landing north to south there. Nothing significant. And finally, wrong page, loadout, 112 people signing their non-disclosures so they can board the aircraft, so that way they can't take to media and say, flying with Mike, just an awful airline. You signed an NDA, folks. You can't say that. Just kidding. All right, we're going to have 26,640 pounds of payload, and cost index for the flight's 38,000. Actually, I didn't even look through there to see if we're going to be up and down on all these different fixes. It looks like we won't be unless ATC says so. All right, so let me show you the amended flight plan. All right, so we'll go to, first off on NavGraph, if you click this little icon right here, you can add things like NavGraph, SimBrief, DAAGs to it to begin to make it more of a one-stop shop for flight planning. So let's get that flight plan in here. Import the flight, and you can import it from SimBrief. Okay, there's our routing. And this one I think is still set up. Yeah, still set up wrong. Stand by. We'll get it corrected. You know what the easiest way is? Just hit the pencil over here. And home. All right, I'm just going to put it on here. Dun, 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 dun. Something tells me I went by a PC1. Really? Is it up here and I missed it? Yep, I sure did. Add to route. All right, now up here, we'll just put MHN. Space it, call it done, and there we go. And we've amended. Oh, we thought we did. Let's try that again. Maybe. Add to route. There we go. All right, so there you see it now. It's cleaned up a little bit. And basically that's all we were going to do on takeoff, folks. So we're going to pull it up here real quick, take a look. We're going to 1C, we're going to turn left, intercept ALR, Dar El Badea, and radial 17, and track out to Buga, then PECES, and then on to MHN. Looks like there are no altitude restrictions, folks, so I have us programmed to go straight up to 38,000 feet. Okay, but that's some of the neat things you can do here. You can also interject weather. If there is any nearby, you'll see it. And again, also if it's picking up from whatever NavGraph uses for the weather, if that is set into it. So really a great tool if you don't have it. This is payware. You just add it on if you update your FMCs from NavGraph. Little extra money, extra paid out, but you get all the charts in the world. All right, and there you go, folks. That is our pre-brief. Oh, taxi brief real quick. Not hard, believe it. We're right here, folks, in Whiskey 2. As I see it, if we push back facing west, we'll taxi down. I think that's Alpha 6 to Alpha 5, Bravo 4, and on to the runway of Bravo 3. Even their taxiing is like books of fixes. Where that all came from, folks. Last flight yesterday we flew had maybe 6 entries I had to do in the FMC to make it happen. Today it's like a book. And that's what flying in Europe, flying in other parts of the world, that's some of the differences you have to be ready for, aside from transition levels, which, by the way, I did not check for. And they are not forthcoming on this chart. Let's see if they're forthcoming here. Nope. Sim Toolkit is. Hang on a second, get rid of this. Maybe. Huh. Well, we'll just go with what the plane tells us. That is really weird. But yeah, transition levels can change not only country to country, and as we all know, flying in Europe is like flying in the United States, except each of what would be states in the United States are actual countries that you would need a passport. So they all have their own different little rules. Oh my goodness. Thankfully, we do have international organizations to help unify it all, but my goodness. Flight plans they're eye-opening, all right, that's for sure. All right, so enough blather. Let's pull Sim Toolkit away and wrap up this brief. Okay, I'm going to head over here to our handy-dandy EFB. Now you have on here the weight and balance. I can load the aircraft. I could do it here. I could do it here on the ToLiss ISCS screen, or I can come down to here. I've got a mechanic screen with 5 different things. We're off external power, so we'll turn that off. But I can actually go through here. I have a pushback if you don't have better pushback. I can load the fuel in, get it as close as you can. Usually I go over. And then I can do the cargo, and now I'm closing the doors. And we'll watch the little trucks pull away. Yeah, it's animated here, folks. Where Flight Factor and several others, they just kind of pop and pop away. You know, they just disappear. Here, they actually drive away before they disappear. Same with the catering trucks. If you have air stairs hooked up to it, those as well, the trucks will pull in, set the riggings for stability, and then open the door. Really neat. Oh, for a second I thought I had the door open. It looked like that? Hang on. Can I repeat it? Probably not. Wow, yeah, that fooled me. All right, so all we got left is the main door. As you can see here, you also have an Airbus this. Now, I am going to pose a question, and maybe the wrong forum for the question, because I know there is somebody out there who streams. I could really ask this question to and hopefully get an honest answer. When real aircraft, I'm not going to specify Airbus, only in the fact it's really easy. And I work, by the way, in an airport firehouse, so I deal with aircraft emergencies and what have you at airports, medicals, security as well. When you declare an emergency, is there somewhere telling you to tell us hours of fuel on board versus what you have on board, pounds or kilos? It's a big difference there in what I just said. To the layperson, what's the difference? Okay, even for you, you could try this one. What's 3 hours of fuel on a C-17? How about 3 hours of fuel on a 747? How about 3 hours of fuel on an A319, 320, 320? How about a Cessna 150? Now you see where I'm going. We don't know. You can tell us that till the cows come home, but I don't know your fuel burn. Without knowing that number, I can't take that into what 3 hours is. Now I pick on Airbus because right here it is. It's right there in front of the pilot's and co-pilot's face, be it pounds or kilos, however the plane's set up. To us on the ground, that's a more comprehensible number than hours. But I don't know if in the cockpit that's what they're told to say, told or procedurally told to say. Just throwing it out there, just curious. It's come up a couple of times, and actually about every YouTube ATC aircraft emergency I've listened to, the banter between them, they come back in hours. That means nothing really to the firefighter on the ground. You got to, unless me, that could maybe take a good guess at it, but it's a guess when you've got the hard information right there in Airbus. 757, 767, it's right up here where your fuel panel is. The rest of you could be a little more difficult. But you know. But anyway, I just throw it out there. So, anyway, that took us into the break. We'll get ready to go here, folks. Come out of the break, start pushing, and get out of here. So, hope y'all enjoy the show again. Subscribers, you're right now the only one hearing me, so appreciate you so much. So, all right, so let's get ready to rumble. Oh wait, wrong sport. right, we got about 10 seconds here or so, so let's get rolling. So we got the doors closed. We're going to get the final portion of this checklist completed, which is basically we've got our middle panel here set up, folks. So we've got our altimeter set 1019, flight directors on both sides set, LS, landing system, I believe it is, set, constraints on, so it's telling us on here where to be altitude-wise if it's constrained. We had none on the chart that we saw. We're on ARC, we're on 20 miles, we're on 40 miles on the co-pilot side, VOR, 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 dot, dot. What this means here is whatever the computer in the FMC avionics meshing up will put us to in the configuration the airplane is. Automatically, it's called managed. And we're set to manage our climb to 38,000 feet. Dots mean that. When you take the dots away, you, the pilot, you, the loose nut behind the stick, are controlling it then. Okay, next up, anti-skid and nose wheel steering switch on. Folks, that's right here. Clock looks good. Switching panel right here at the base. Everything should be at 12 o'clock straight up. Be in the normal position. Finally, we're going to swing down. Got the radars, two switches up top on. Transponder set, ready to go. And I'm going to do one last thing. I don't do this often. I'm going to hit the reset button on the trim. Check the throttles. And transponder set, and finally come back up and get the beacon on as we wait for the better pushback tug.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Okay, we'll go here.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, so we're waiting on the tug. Already got the ACAR system running for Millennium Aviation, and so things are being recorded over there as we speak. Just need to move that up. To move that up. To move that up. To move that up. That up. Okay. Let's go ahead, get the jetway away. Let's go ahead, get the jetway away. Let's go ahead, get the jetway away. That's what I was hearing. That's what I was. Ah, somehow the screen was unmuted.
Closed, ready to connect.
Make sure this one's muted. Okay, good. I was trying to go, what the heck is that noise in my ear? All right, and jetway's away. Let's get the chocks. Believe it or not, folks, if you don't get the chocks, you're not going to go anywhere when you release the brakes.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Brakes released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, to start engines is real simple in this plane. Now, you can, and I see it especially in the A320, turn the packs off, because it actually says turn the packs back on. Normally, you don't. It's all automated. All you do normally, again, real Airbus pilots, have fun with it. Let me know I'm wrong. turn it to start and move the switch up. It looked like we have a light off. And I do like to caution folks, make sure you have definitely turned the fuel pumps on. Remember, in buses, a blank screen here on the switches mean they're in their proper position. They'll usually say, like if you want the engine to make sure you have the anti-ice on, click them, it'll say on. Same with the wing. But everywhere otherwise, they're in the auto position. Okay, we got an available on that one. Let's go ahead and kick over number 2 or number 1. And again, folks, simply lift the switch up. Allow the air to hit the starter, and boom, she goes. Once you see the EGT climbing steeply, there it goes, you know you got a light off. And all we're waiting for is this one to build up to about 19.89, 20, somewhere in there, and go avail, and then we can start in on the after start checks.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Just make sure on something here. Gens are on. There's a veil. Just caught it. If you miss it, folks, don't sweat. If the box is not, it's kind of gone. But there was one you saw that was gray. If it's still there, guess what? Oh, it's right here in 2. If it's still gray, you're still building. If it's not, you're done. As we are here. Hit the chrono, 3 minutes. Although we'll warm up probably quicker here. APU bleed goes off. Ground spoilers to arm. Just letting you see everything. Ground spoilers are here. Pull up. Flaps 1.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has
Verify.
Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Thanks for flying with Mike. Okay, and then we'll get up here. We'll get the pitch trim and all here in a second. Okay, we'll wait on the guy in the tug, show us our pins, and then we'll continue. But again, thanks for flying with Mike today. All right, there are the pins. And what I like to do, just me, folks, you don't have to. I turn the lights, give him a quick hit with them so that he knows we saw him. Okay. I know a lot of you say, well, that says you're cleared to taxi. Okay, you could do it again to go and taxi. That way because he may not see you thumbing up with the sun glaring in on that glass. Ever think of that? All right, so pitch trim. We talked about this. Let's pull that one up, move into the center, up a little. Okay. I like to hit flight control. Now, you can see all your controls, plus the trim setting. Now, we got this set up so that it's supposed to be flaps 1, we're at, and our horizontal stabilizer to 0.4. 0.0 right now. 2, 3, 4. And there we have it. Now, while I'm here, our next set, the taxi procedures, are going to have us check our flight controls. Look at this. I can do it right here. Make sure things center. Rudder. Elevator. everything's centering up nicely, and then we're going to do a full motion check here, kind of freedom of movement, I call it. I think I saw it in a checklist where we just roll the stick and around, checking everything. Right. And then I just select it. All right, and then back to the top. Okay, anti-ice set as needed. APU switch off. And finally, we're going to come back down here. Neat little feature. Does it do really anything? No. We can actually tell them to arm the slides, even though they already did. Okay, nose wheel light parking brake elapsed time started. We are 3.5 minutes. Let's get to taxiing. Okay, it's asking in the checklist here for the brakes. Cabin, let's get them going. Sure they're ready. Taxi light. All right, and then we'll do the rest here once we get closer to the run. All right, folks, there you go. Not bad, 38 minutes, and we're taxiing. Trying to get a little faster at it, folks. Trying my best. It's a long flight ahead of us. Okay, real quick, we got through the brakes, the flight controls, FMA. We're still waiting to test the systems. Did you pass? Yes, you did. And we're waiting for the cabin to be ready. They are. Here we go, folks. I am online. Nope. Okay, so we're going to hold right here. I'm going to do a quick check on SimAware to make sure I'm not popping on anyone. I didn't do this. Crud. I may be. Well. Hopefully I'm not. Okay, cabin's ready. Actually, I think they're airborne. I think we're okay. All right. I hate doing that, folks. That was my bad. I totally got to get online here. All right. Finally, let's get that radar on. Okay, we are set for takeoff. Final checks here. Transponder brakes looking good. Go ahead and turn the brake fan on. And engine modes turn that back to normal. And turn off lights, everything's ready to go. Wing lights on. Algiers traffic, Angle Azur 80, departing runway 5. Okay, I'm gonna push us up. Strobes to on. All right, clearing this up, 8 minutes. Now, it's a real good thing, folks, if you can, when you get ready to release the brakes on takeoff, punch your chrono, because sometimes your clearances will be 10 minutes after departure. Let's see if you've all ever heard this. 10 minutes after departure, 35,000 feet, 38,000 feet, whatever you said. So you then know 10 minutes after departure. Okay, brakes are set, chrono on. Throttles 50%, brakes will release. Flex toga, we're going to be flex, so it'll say flex where my cursor is. And then we'll just go from there with the takeoff. Ready? Clear for takeoff. Brakes off, got my hand on the brakes, go to 50%, blue's on it. 50% and stable, flex. I give a little nose down. There's 80 knots. As we go past 100, I start going to neutral with the stick. We approach V1. Pull back. Take. Gears up. Set takeoff attitude. Hopefully it won't be a bad attitude. And we're getting a call to make the turn. Follow the flight director, folks. But don't exceed your bank angle. And if you want, like I'm going to, engage the autopilot. All right, let's pull them back to climb. Allow it to settle in and climb on out. Here, cover your ears if you're in your earmuffs, folks, because it could be loud. Good, it's not. Lunchtime! Oh man, gotta go back to the airport, folks. Downwind sim says it's lunchtime. Alright folks, we'll see you after the break here in about a minute or so. We should be past the intercept point and on our way. Alright, we are coming up to the intercept point. We just passed transition level set by it. Let's get the spoilers down. So now they're no longer armed. And checking everything out, parking brakes, or parking brake. Reject takeoff is off. We can turn the brake fans off. ultimately, we could. I'm going to leave all the lights on, even though I didn't turn the lights on. Pad pilot, pad pilot. Everyone there's going, I couldn't see you, man. All I saw was an A319 saying Angel Ozur, Igel Ozur on it, take off. But I didn't see you because your lights were off. All right, we're coming over the intercept point right now, folks. Welcome back. Thought we'd clear it before you got back. All right, so in the turn, one more time, let's do what X-Plane has built into it. And now we're out over the med for a little bit. Let's get back in. We cross 10,000. Get those lights turned off. All right, and rest can stay on for a little longer. So I hope you again are enjoying the ride. And folks, if you are liking what you see, hey, we'd love you to hit follow. That way you can know by us sending you an email that we're going live when we're live if you click notifications with that follow. For those watching the replay on YouTube, you know, I don't want to leave you guys out, but I would love for you to smash that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like it, and the notify so you too can be notified when we post a new video to Flying with Mike. But we love you all. We're glad to have you aboard. And again, let me just briefly plug Twitch. It's September for a couple more days, folks. When the month of September ends, 1 October starts, the deals are off. Deals are 30% if you wish to go tier 3, 25%, and 25% tier 1, tier 2. Other deals throughout Twitch as well. Those are the biggies. If you want to show those that you love to watch, those the content you like, a little love, you can subscribe to them. In return, you get ad-free viewing and some other perks and bonuses each stream, which is different, folks, provide. And we hope we're one of those that you would click subscribe on, but we don't require it. So, but again, September ends in a couple of days. If you miss out by Saturday or Sunday, you have missed out. All right, up and away we go in our beautiful A319. Yeah, I changed it from a balloon to an A319. Looks better. Also, like to plug Saturday's flight. Kind of a special flight because, folks, that is the last day of September. We are going to try, and you all are welcome to join. I haven't done a lot of plugging, but you're welcome to join us. We are going to do about a 2 to 3 hour group flight. That's what I would love it to be. But if it's just you all turn out and support us, you know, that's just as good to me as well. Saturday, I don't have a time yet. Stay tuned to our Discord channel for that, and I'll get you that in a moment. As to when I think I'll be able to take off on that, But basically, we're going to go from, you're going to love this place. It's called Viru. It's where we landed last in our tour of South America. And we're going to go to a place I've been challenged to, or requested to, but yet in the background I could hear challenge, to Rio de Janeiro. But we're not going to the main airport there. We're going to the other Rio airport and see what it's like. We're going to be, and I will give this part away, we will be in the Zibo 737 as requested by the viewer. And I look forward. Y'all are welcome to come along. Like I said, it's about a 2 to 3 hour flight from Viru. So we're going to be going from Bolivia to Brazil. So hope y'all turn out, enjoy it. It should be a fun flight. Not sure if we're going to have controllers. We'll see. That'll be a challenge too if we have them. So, all right. So back to this flight, folks. Enough of all of that other stuff. Back to this. We're climbing through 22,000 feet for 38,000. All is well. And let's go ahead and turn off the wing lights. Seatbelt sign stays on to cruise, and just kind of cruise our way on up. Hope y'all enjoy the ride here. We're headed for Europe. I'm sure this is going to be loading up here real soon with centers. As we are crossing over, or just ballparking it, folks, the 6 in the evening time frame over in Europe. So we're getting into where most people are at home, unwinding from whatever kind of day they've had. They've had some grub put into them, and they're looking to do something. And a lot of them come online. It loads up here. It looks kind of like LA did a couple days for us ago, except the whole continent. So we'll see what we end up with here shortly. We're just now coming through, starting in through the Med. And just kind of glancing ahead, centers are kind of not as thick as usual. Kind of like what's going on kind of deal. I do, and I will warn, so if any of you are on that center or want to be up for center, know this, I don't hit an area, say whatever this one is, I don't, it's when you come in at Marcel's. I'm not going to reach out to you. You're going to have to tell me, because there are so many controllers. I have no idea which one's who. Just like when I see them here in the States. Atlanta had 3 centers up yesterday. I don't know who to contact first. However, we had DC up, who then told us who to contact. But if we don't have that, folks, I don't know who to contact. And I'm not going to go hunting and pecking to figure out which one to get on. I upset some people many months ago going into Stuttgart because I did not, oh my God, I committed a mortal sin. I didn't contact Munich, Munchkin, whatever the heck you want to call them. Got to tell them there were 4 of them up, folks. What the heck? Which one do I call? No, we aren't playing that game. Make it a little easier for us. I know you guys in Europe know it. We Yanks from the other side of the world don't necessarily know it. So just letting you know, that's my one big criticism that comes up in VATSIM. Now, positive about Europe VATSIM, while it's not technically real, when they bring those flight services up and control at 24,000 and above, I like that idea. If that's what you want to do in center, that's what you need to do. If you're not willing to control all of those little airports down below you, I love it. Let them take care of themselves. They do a pretty good job. By that I mean the pilots, unless somebody wants to come up and be the controller down below. I love that about Europe. It's a little hint for the United States. Those guys get overwhelmed really quick over there, and they don't get why. But anyway, folks, we're back in happiness, on our way. Somebody just turned around. Why? Oh no. Anyway, looked like somebody just turned around on me in front of me. So, like, what did they do? Close Europe? Anyway. So I hope you enjoy the ride, folks. We're now through 30,000 and easing on up into the rocking chair at 38,000. Sometimes, folks, you just gotta love simplicity in a paint scheme. I actually like this. Very simple, a little pizzazz on the tail. Overall, very simple. I like it. And from what I understood, 2019, this airline actually shut down or went into court, bankruptcy, if you will. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's still here or what. So, but pretty cool. I like the simplicity. I know some of you got to be wiggles and squiggles and this and that all over the plane. And me, I like simple. I really do. Pretty much a nice, smooth, clear ride across the bed, folks. I have no idea where this plane's going. He is doing a circle. Where's he going? LEMH. Where the heck is that? No idea. Going to Dusseldorf, though. I'll be honest, looking at this map, I'm not 100%. Think like right in here, I think. Oh, I know y'all aren't seeing it. So I think we have the chance of clipping Switzerland, but other than that, it's French airspace and the Med. So hope y'all had a great week. Tuesday was the every third year we have to do a major mass casualty incident out at the airport exercise, and so yeah, that was a real good thing. Great learning, and I have to say, of all of them I've done, and I think it's 3 in all. I think might have been 4. Um, that might have been the best run exercise we've ever done. That didn't even make sense what I said the first time. Best exercise we've done that I've been part of. Now, one had already major problems with it to start with because it was a COVID year, and that just threw wrenches in it all over the place. But overall, out of all of them that I've ever done out there, that probably was the best run exercise we've done. Now, the problem is, as with everything, folks, fortunately, that's not a real day at the airport, but it does test everything in all of our plans. So, really good, and be interesting to watch and or listen to any debriefs that maybe I get a part of, maybe not, who knows. But great time. So little bit on the bending of old age, muscles and joints, but I didn't have it that hard as, was in the AOC. Now, the operations center folks usually will be so much busier. And that was, I liked what they did on that one. So, all right, so let's get Ag Aigle, AIGLE, I'm Aigle, to uh, St. Louis, France. I gotta love, again, coming from a town or a city here in the United States called St. Louis, to see it spelled the same way minus the hyphen. It's it, I had to fly it, folks. Just like you can count on Burbank seeing an airliner here within the next month. So that just blew me away in Burbank. So how close that terminal is to the runway, that is just wow. So, and I think within the next month or two, we may have to make a run down to or over to St. Martin again. Just because it's always fun, folks, to shoot the beach like that. Skathos is kind of the same deal. And it's just kind of fun. So hopefully I remember all of that. LEPA, who is this? Palma and Barcelona approach are up. Ibiza, Ibiza, Ibiza Airport, interesting. Just things that are coming online right now, folks. I'm just taking in as possible flights upcoming. We also have a new destination of the month around the corner for MAXIR. Looking forward to wherever we're off to with them. Last time we landed in Tripoli, Libya. So I'm kind of curious where we're headed next. All right, enough blathering. I think we've popped into our cruise altitude or very close. Uh-oh. Hang on a second. There we go. I felt like it locked up. Oh, Dutch pilots online. I will say this much, folks, and I don't mean it in a negative way, but I am so glad ToLiss and Flight Factor have put that init request button in, and ToLiss even went so far as to actually, I think if I understand some real world bus drivers, put it in the right spot on the McDo, so that if you wanted to do it the right way, you could go there to get the flight. Oh my gosh, if I had to type all of that in, holy mackerel. So, I really do like that. And folks, if you want the ToLiss, it's right over there at the Airbus or the X-Plane Orc store. I can't recommend it enough, nor can I have the A320 Neo, and I am getting very tempted to get the 321. So, oh, great aircraft, folks. But my mind is actually turning to another aircraft, and we'll see where we end up. Like I said, we're really looking into a new aircraft and getting things rolling here. So, all right, we've hit 38,000 feet. Let's get those seatbelt signs off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. We have reached our cruise altitude and the seatbelt sign is off. We ask that you aren't up and about, that you keep your seatbelt fastened, as we never know sometimes when we're going to fly through some turbulence. For now, we'll just ask you to sit back, relax, enjoy the service of our flight attendants, and we'll be chatting with you here shortly. All right, folks, we're back with you. All right, so, and you know, I also need to make a run into Zurich. I haven't done that. I don't even think I've done it in X-Plane, so we need to think about that one. So, all right, things are beginning to light up here in Europe. Speaking of which, Vienna approach just came in. So, yeah, things are beginning to, and I expected it, folks. That's why I said we're going to deal with what we deal with here. Hope for the best, pray for the worst. Or pray for the best and pray for the worst. I also have been remiss, folks. I just happened to catch this yesterday, and I don't know how I caught it. But we had a follower come in here, and I didn't, even though it came after a stream, make knowledge. And this was over a week ago. So, Dita 321, my apologies for the late acknowledgement. Mr. Roy 7, if I didn't acknowledge you as well. Both came in about 7 days ago, and I totally did not see you either follow during the stream or catch it after, before the next stream. So thank you for your follows. And that's partly, folks, why we're doing the flight Saturday. When we started September, actually, I think we were coming out of Viewer Appreciation Month in July, actually. About midway through August, possibly right to the beginning of September. I noticed our follow count here at Flying with Mike topped 300. That's amazing, folks. 3 years ago, actually in October, believe it or not, we started streaming. And ask Hawker 125 when he's up here and moderating. I don't think he is today because of work. I'm going to find out here real quick. Nope, he is not. But anyway, I would have told you that's impossible. People don't want to listen to me, let alone this kind of style. And lo and behold, was I so wrong. Now, You may not still want to listen to me. I'm fine with that. But I was shocked, and people do like this, and I'm like, holy mackerel. So, folks, all I can say is you humble me. Every follower humbles me just that much more to think that people are interested in this. So whether it's the content or me, that is not my, what I'm getting at here. It just humbles me, folks, that you come aboard. And then add to it, we have 14 subscribers, I believe it is right now. That I would have never told you 3 years ago would happen. So, folks, all I can say to y'all is thank you so much, and that's part of the reason for the flight on Saturdays, just to kind of celebrate that 300 milestone, even though I think we're above that, I know now. But our YouTube channel is getting up to that number too. So it's just unbelievable, folks. Thank you so much. Words can't even describe how it makes me feel. So thank you. I'm still waiting for my lunch there, Downwind Sims. Oh. All right, and where are we here? Is that, my goodness, we are just now getting to the end of the SID, folks. Coming out of Algiers. We're about halfway over the Med. To the, what is this airport? Anyway, Palma is just to our west and south slightly. We're about to come over MHN, Mike Hotel November, VOR, and finally start into our first airway. So, trying to see about where we're going to come in at. Lee Kesselet. According to this, there is a chance if Switzerland comes up, we will be in it very briefly. I will be really shocked that they would want us from St. Perex to VATSIM intersection, a total of about 20 miles to talk to them. They might, you never know, they might be bored. All right, folks, so we're just going to kind of take a look out the window here. All right, and we're showing about an hour and 10 minutes out. As there's Palma behind us. And this little island here, I don't know what that one is, but there is a little airport we may have to take a look at and see. Some of these are kind of fun. They got some nice little tricks in the approach. I see there is some textural issue either from the heat plume or possibly part of laminar, who knows. But there you have it, folks. So I am going to kind of get a little quiet here for about a half hour and let you all enjoy a little bit of music. we got some. Hey, by the way, I'm back. I see some contrail out ahead of us. Let us see who that might be. I'm lost in the gaggle here. Huh, got a couple of Ryans and EJU ahead of me. I'm not sure which it is, but we have a contrail. All right, folks, we're 1 hour out of St. Louis. Now let's see here. We are about 15 miles away. He's 2,000 feet below us. Let's see how that translates. It could be Ryan. Definitely not that one. All right, so let's take a look first at what our timing looks like. 360 miles out. This probably would be a good time to start talking it, but let's first get our systems checked. All right, so basically we're going to go through all of our buttons here by just clicking all. And we're going to focus in on fuel and a couple of others as we go along. So here is our default, if you will. Gives you a whole really good synopsis of all of those buttons in one place. The highlights, okay? So you get a better look here. Okay, well, you know what? I'll just keep it there. All right, there's our engine. Oop, I went too fast. Sorry, folks. All right, so you can see how things are going here. Everything looks good, no serious problems. Our bleeds, this is how it's going from the engine into the aircraft to help keep it warm or cold. Again, our valves for our pressurization all look good. The electrical system from both the batteries and the jet engines powering the two different electrical bus systems. Hydraulics. Now, this, folks, is one of the kind of important ones. Pressurization is. Engines. Okay, let's go from probably the most important, fuel and engines, to then the pressurization. We can fly at 10,000 feet and you don't have to be pressurized. But you don't have engines running, you're in trouble. And if you don't have fuel to make the engines run, you have trouble. So, but anyway. So you can see here all three systems, green, blue, and yellow. In the back of your mind, keep the G, the B, and the Y. Keep it in the back of your mind here for a few seconds, okay? But everything's green and system pressures look good. Now we're going to get the fuel. Here we do need to do something. We can see we're about, we'll call it 300 off. So let's go up top. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, turn the cross feed on. So instead of this side powering or fueling engine 1, this side feeding engine 2, now both sides are feeding engine 1 and engine 2 until I decide to go here. Now the right side is fueling both engines. The left is turned off. And we're going to allow the fuel in the right side to take care of getting down to being even. And it usually does not take long. All right, I am going to go ahead and bounce on back down. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go on to the APU, which is off. Here's the temperatures in the cabin, looking pretty good, and the cockpit. The doors. Okay, yeah, the slides are armed, doors are closed, but you want to pay more attention here. That's those tanks in the cockpit in case we got to do an emergency descent and make sure we got enough air. A different system puts air in the masks that drop down. Wheels are up and the covers are closed and the brakes look good. And finally, and remember how I told you to put the G, B, and Y in the back of your mind? Well, here you're going to see why. This page here tells you hydraulically what system powers what. So you have blue and green on the left aileron and the right aileron. Okay, that's cool. Blue and green on the left elevator, however, the yellow and blue on the right elevator. The rudder, all three. So you see, things kind of are how things work. Now, it's not telling you what does the landing gear, what does the spoilers, the reversers, all of that. You learned that in ground training at your company. But it's a good, gives you a good overview, and everything looks good here. Okay, that's our fuel. Let's get back to it, see how we're doing. Oh, we got way out of whack. Hang on, let's get back up here. Turn these back on. Get back down there, get it back on fuel. And we're just going to reverse it, folks. Shut these pumps down and let it catch up real quick. I went long. We're only about 1,000 off right now, so let's get down there real quick and get things centered up, and then we'll start into the actual arrival groove. Again, hope you're all having a great Thursday. I, as many like to call it, Friday Eve. And I hope you all have a safe Friday. Okay, we're into 43s. Okay, getting ready to shut off the pumps. All right, we got to go back down one more time. Click fuel. Okay, so everything's balanced. Everything seems to be working fine. Let's go back. And now this side fuels number 2, this side fuels number 1. Because this lever is closed, this valve. Alright. And back to our default menu. Real quick, let me do the status, make sure we don't have anything, do a recall, clear. Everything looks good, folks. As it should. Now we're balanced a little better for the arrival. All right, now why I put this up here, very simple. We're about to bring charts up. Now this is the standalone version, meaning when you download charts from Navgraph, you get this nice program to work with. Desktop, you also get it available if you go through here. Let me get rid of this, bring up SimBrief real quick. And I'll do that through my one-stop shop. I can bring it this way. because remember I told you I put it in down here. Yep. Well, you can come into SimBrief when you finish your flight plan. You have an option up here, open in charts. It'll pull it up desktop browser and you can work it there. So, all right, so let me get rid of SimBrief. It takes up a lot of screen. There we go. There's charts. All right, so you can see where we are. We still got a ways to go. We got, actually, to be honest, 300 miles to go. According to the clock, 50 minutes, 50 minutes. We still got a little ways to go to feet dry in France, actually. Okay, now we're over to this half of the charts we see here. We're going to be coming in on the ARPUS 8 kilo arrival. So we're going to come in from ARPUS and right on in. Let's go to flight plan. There we go. All right, so we're going to actually start out here at LUL. Not LOL, we're not laughing out loud. LUL, we're going to lull you. All right, sorry, couldn't resist. I'm going to go ahead and hide this for now. There we go. All right, so we can see we're going to go to ARPUS, and then to Altic, and then from here it'll be how ATC wants to do it. Now I didn't put the ARC in, it looks like. Couldn't figure out which one does the ARC. So we're going to just kind of, as the chart says, head up here to Entum and then join, okay, to come in. All right, so the Arctis, ATIS 127880. I don't know what setting I have in XPilot or Xplane that prevents me from hearing it online with VATSIM, but that's why we don't do ATIS on here. Next, airport elevation is 885 feet, and a thing I hate to see on charts, transition level by ATC. I get it, but here's where the joke comes back at him. Okay, so once we get to Entum, let's go to the ILS chart. And then we'll go back to it. Transition level by ATC, transition altitude 7,000 feet. Gentlemen, can't we just say that? Oh well. All right, we'll go back to the arrival. All right, and then here's the different arrivals we have available from this chart. Where are the numbers?
79 feet, go down.
Oh, I believe Bad Attitude has entered the room. Make a hole. Make it wide. The Commandant is here. All right. Okay, so that doesn't apply to us. All right, so there's our arrival. Basically a very simple straight shot to Altic. Then we'll go up to Entem and do the arrival. All right, now here's where things do not make sense when I try to set it up over here. Probably got to read some of these additional appendixes that come with it. Good afternoon, Sue. We are doing great. I hope you are as well. Again, our frequencies across the top that we may or may not see. The localizer here is 111.5 Mike Hotel. Final approach course 152. Okay, now, this one is kind of important because it's telling you at distance 3.6 from the localizer, we need to be at 2,030 feet, which happens to be 1,160 feet above the ground and on glide slope. Now, how do I know that? Well, actually, that's weird because that's this point right here. We actually at 9.5 should be on the glide slope. Again, when in Europe, you're going to have to do what the Europeans do. All right, so key though. For an initial approach, see, there's what I'll need to see. Procedures only available on ATC instruction, otherwise expect vectoring to initial final. Okay, real easy. Basically, folks, you tile in BLM, VOR here, fly a 12-mile arc onto it, you go. Otherwise, they're going to vector you to here. Okay, so at 11.5, we joined a localizer. 9.5, we joined a localizer glide slope. Track it in. 3.6 out, we should be at 1,166 feet above ground. Get to the decision altitude, decision height in a moment. Here's where our missed approach is kind of like Europe. Turn here, go up here, around this corner, hit this tower, go around it, and then arc onto Altic and hold. I don't mean to make that sound like I am having fun with Europe, because it is just so totally different than what we do here in the United States. Not to say there isn't a missed approach in the United States very close to this, but it's just the whole 10-page flight plan list versus usually a pretty condensed one for the US. It just, the different uniquenesses of it all. All right, so we have some numbers here. What is for? See it listed off as what it is. Or is this it? Huh. All right, well. Okay, we'll plan to be at Altic, at Altic at 4,000 feet, direct to our initial, and fly it in. And I'm going to say our approach is right about this line, 130. So we're going to guess it in at about 710 feet a minute, roughly. And we're going to plan... Oh, I thought I saw times. My bad. Up here is giving you suggested altitudes if the glide slope should be out. High ILS2, so you got a whole bunch of landing approach lights if we're in low instrument conditions, and the reel and PAPIs at the on the runway, PAPIs on the left side. Minimums. Bad attitude may have to correct me here. I believe an A319 is performance level C. And we've got a minimum of 1,134 feet MSL, 270 feet AGL, unless I get corrected. If there's an RVR, there is an RVR, it has to be higher than 600 meters. Okay, and then you can see what happens when certain approach lights go out and what have you. And there you have it, folks. If we need to circle to land, gives us the altitudes and all of which to commence. Oh, these are right here. Okay. Once we get on the ground, by the way, folks, if we do run into a problem where the ceiling all of a sudden, for some weird reason, which we don't see yet, drops below 270 AGL and 600 meters, we do have down at the bottom here, you see it, Cat 2, Cat 3 procedures. Should that become a factor, it's the exact same thing. Now we have a decision height of 50 feet, RVR of 200 meters. At this point, if everything is still not going well, we then have to divert to our alternate. All right, once on the ground, folks, I'm hoping to get us off here at Echo, right into the ramp. All right, and folks, again, thank you for your time subscribing, or if you're one of those that have been gifted by a lot of great, generous people here at the stream, we sure appreciate y'all. And once we get everybody back, we'll explain the McDo here real quick. Shouldn't be but another 10 seconds. All right, everyone should be back now. Let me bring charts up real quick. Let's look at that ILS again. So as you can see, we're going to be CF15. Not sure where these actually translating out to, but there we are set here. This is our missed approach. And then finally, if we go to I'm sorry. That's not our, it's over here. LFLL. I know that airport and I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, Marcel's, I want to say, but I don't think that's right. Anyway, that's where we're headed for our alternate. All right, so anyway, I just wanted to show that, folks. We'll put that back like this, and we'll be back to it here shortly. Let's head over to our EFB. As we did takeoff, let's look at the landing as of right now, 1-5. Current weather. I'm going to do this an interesting way for you. All right, let's go to data. Wait a minute, wrong one. ATC. Ports. Oh, I got to remember McDo menu. There we go. ATSU, AOC. There we go. Now we're getting where I want. Weather report for LFSB. Put it down here. Put it over here. Click METAR. Let the asterisks come back. Then return, go to receive messages, and there it is, the METAR, current as of 1800 Zulu, 11 minutes old. More than this one. So let's see what we're getting. 2:30 at 6. Let's go ahead and update this. Temperature showing 20 and 1019. Dry, anti-ice, shouldn't be a problem in there. We're clear, visibility okay. All right, now the neat thing about this, folks, like takeoff, you could have seen what Toga would do. Here we're going to do landing perf. I've got low, medium, and manual. We'll go medium on the brakes, reversers on, air conditioning on, full flaps, and hit compute. BAP is 128, call it 130, which was that line. And we're looking at a required distance of 4,200 feet, predicted distance of 4,400 feet on a 12,800 foot runway. Hence why you don't see us going very far down the runway. All right, and that's for the prediction of a 155 landing weight, which to me sounds wrong, considering we're estimating 120. Okay, we'll go with it because that's what it is right now. Okay, that's our minimum landing weight preferred. Meaning, we get over this number, we're not going to be. We're going to have to do some things. All right, so we're good right now with the numbers. We go to perf. We're 186 out. We'll in about 100 miles, folks. We'll start getting the information plugged in there. Get the McDo readied, as well as do another run on this. Make sure everything is still capiche. And now it's up to date. All right. So there you have it, folks. And we're starting to get a glimpse of the Alps. All right, folks, there you have it. The Med's right behind us. We're inland, and we're starting to hit the foothills for the Alps. Well, Nice approaches up. All right, let's see what we can see out some of the wings, because not liking what I'm seeing here. It's not, well, actually, it's not looking too bad now. It was kind of like the sun's overdoing it. And I mean, that's how it would be in real life. But man, I like the tinting on the windows, though. There we go. All right, so there you go, folks, out the nose as we look into the Alps. Headed into a little sliver of Zurich Center and then back into France. Or St. Louis, otherwise known to those of us in the Midwest, St. Louis. I said that over there, they go, huh? But I hate to break it to y'all. We are in that season that we're going to begin to see this stuff. All right, so our next turn, let's see, what are we set at? We got the radar for the radars on here. Silly me, did not turn on terrain following over here. And folks, with about 80 miles to go, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a cup of coffee and we'll be ready to land this beast. All right, folks, we're back with you, getting ready to make the turn here at the VANAS. And about 115 miles from top of descent. All right, folks, we're back with you after that great song from Drummer Boy, Crosswords. really a great song. I do love listening to it from time to time. All right, we are rolling through here, having some fun with the flybys and the different views X-Plane gives. Flybys, I've been heard, are pretty much an X-Plane thing, so you don't get that right out of the box with other sims. So, and we also get that neat slow. Hang on, one more time, just for some fun. And with this one, I can actually position the plane how I want. The other one is however it is. So, but again, we are over the Alps. We are about 80 miles, probably pretty close to it right now. Let's see. Let's get our box here set up. Double checking it here. With the real METAR in the world, we are at 18Z, so let's make sure 18Z, 230 at 6, KVOC, 20 degrees, 14 degrees, dew point, 1019, translating to an inches of mercury of 30.09. I'll buy it. So let's go next phase over here, next phase. We got to fill in the information to help refine this number to be more accurate. So 10, 1, 9. Now, if you were US or areas that did use inches of mercury, folks, you have to type it out. In this case, 30, so 30.09. Put it in there like that, and then you would get it in the inches of mercury. We're not. We're in Europe, so we're this way. Just wanted to point that out. 20. Wind, 230. Diagonal, 6. Transition, 7,000. All right, and our MDA. All right, here is where I'm going to do a little bit of how I deal with it. Okay, this is Flying with Mike. Philadelphia. Oof, welcome in. Hello. Hello, we're high above the Alps. Headed for St. Louis, France. Okay, so how I do the decision height and minimum descent altitude. Okay, I first off call it decision altitude, decision height, but the M is what triggers me to which one I use. Okay, so here we go, folks. Minimums here. In the bold is our MDA. That's how I deal with it. I use the M as in a mean sea level, altitude above mean sea level. I use decision height for above the ground, which is what this number is in the parentheses. So we're going to be 1134. If you have to choose one. Say I type 11. Let's do it. I'm going to put 11, 34. Whoops, 34. Okay, let me come down a little. Sorry, I moved it. Oh, got a 4 in there somewhere. 3. Dang it, it did it again. I hate when it does that. Okay, 1134. Okay, minimum set. Oops, sorry about that, folks. Now, you know what? Let's go ahead. For fun, let's put 270 in. It won't let you, folks. One or the other. Choose your poison. 1134 above sea level. 270 above ground level. Folks, this is the same point in the sky when the airplane will say minimums. I'll leave it at 270. Yeah, we'll leave it at 270. I know a lot of companies actually will go with 1134, the MDA. And again, folks, I'll show you where the difference comes in at, to be totally honest with you. right there. So when this scale reads 1134, you'll get minimums. But if you look here where your radar altitude numbers will display, it'll be right around 270. So, but anyway, it is now programmed. We're ready for descent. We're 40 miles out, so let's start in. We've already done some of our descent checks. We've got our, let's just get this put back. I'm going to go to the middle panel here because it makes it easy to read. All right, so landing elevation, auto. McDo arrivals, performance. Oh, we didn't do the winds. We'll use this one. All we got to do, folks, go to data. Okay, this is how you see your opening initiation screen that shows you your dates for the software loaded in. Oops. Or come over here to function. This prints this information. Click function down here, and now you can update your winds. You could also insert your flight plan and your takeoff data from here, and your winds have been updated. The other way you can do it is go here. Wrong side, sorry folks. Click over here, access wind data, and you can do a wind request. And it will update from there. All right, there's our top of descent hockey stick. And I just realized I was with charts. Thank you, Fly 321N. I know, I feel bad. So we'll do it again. All right, so data, function. This is how you would print it to the little printer here. Do it again. You could do your flight plan here in the beginning, your takeoff data, or update your wind by simply clicking wind request, and you get the little message. Okay, that's one way to update your winds. Other way, go to flight plan. Take effects. Oh, I did the wrong side. Sorry, folks. Got to do it on the right side, where you would update speeds, altitudes, access wind data, and do a wind update. I must have clicked on the descent, top of descent. I think I did. No, anyway, it's been updated. All right, so now we're fully set up with wind and a lot of hot air coming out of behind that loose nut behind the stick. 20 miles out, we will initiate our descent by simply getting the two little dots here and clicking on it. Thank you there again, Fly E321. Thanks for watching my back. Currently 20 miles out. So we're going to go ahead, click on it. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. You know what you got to do first, folks? You got to put a number in here. And that number is... this isn't really helping. I'm trying to get a number here. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and set it for 6. Let's go for 5,000 and single dot. My bad, single dot. And that puts you into a managed descent. Okay. Here is one thing to let you know about a managed descent. Right here, you see a little green. Oh, where's my cursor? Here, let me just go ahead and blow it up. It's a little easier. Right where my cursor is, You might see it right to the left of it, that green something that looks like maybe part of a dot. When it gets between the numbers here, you are in the groove for that managed, how the computer sees it. Also, this squiggly line, which appears to be on top of us, but yet's not correct, will also go away. You've crossed it, and now you're into you're in the glide path. Analogous 737, 757, 77 drivers, 777s, or 67 drivers. That on your nav display right here, you have a little graph showing where you are on the glide path. Same thing. It's just a little dot that's supposed to be here that's not showing up. Now, if it's not, and you feel you need to increase your angle of descent, which you as the pilot in command can make that call, go into a open descent, which means we take the dot away and we control how much the aircraft begins to come down. Okay. Again, right here is where it thinks when we start our descent, we should get to where the computer is. Let's see how that works out. So I'm going to go back into managed. It's going to lift our nose up, see how it's coming up. And let's finish up the checklist while we're here. All right, hate to say it to you people in the back, get in your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. As you can tell, we've started our descent into St. Louis, France. Seatbelt signs on, please. Fasten your seatbelts, prepare for landing, and get those tray tables up and stowed in front of you. Flight attendants, prepare the aircraft for arrival. Keep the wing lights off till about 18 to 20,000 and go in. But again, if at any time you don't think it's going to make the mark, steepen the descent. Or ATC tells you get down to a level, go into an open descent, you may have to use spoilers to help keep you from overspeeding. All right, at the transition level, we'll set transition, which in this case will be 7,000. This will start flashing. Push the button, set the numbers. Okay, ILS. All right, let's come off this real quick. Give it time to reset. I'm going to actually broaden out, check our radar. So now you can kind of see the route. This is at 80-mile radius at this one. Boeing, that would be here. Yeah, so 40 out to 80. 80 would be here. You'd actually have 160, which is here. So giving you more coverage of what kind of weather you might have out here. You could also work the tread, the disc, since that loose nut didn't do that earlier. And just make sure you don't have any weather that's popped up in front of you. Notice we're getting closer and closer to the optimum descent, and we are descending harder. So we'll watch our speeds, make sure we stay within the brackets here. But again, I want to thank you all for flying with Mike, folks. It is September on Twitch here. So for those of you on Twitch, just so you're aware, you have about 2 days, 3 days left, something like that. The end of Saturday, folks, the deals are over. Once Saturday goes into Sunday, Price tags go back to their normal numbers for subscribing to channels. And I'll be honest, it's really not a lot. But I do know how budgets are of late. Okay. But right now you get 25% off Tier 1, 25% off Tier 2, 30% off Tier 3 subscriptions. What does that give you, the consumer, the viewer? Ad-free viewing. That's probably what I hear the most people want. So it allows you to be able to watch your favorite streams out there if you're subscribed to that streamer ad-free. So put that in the back of your head. I don't know if you can afford it or not, but you know, you got great deals out there right now on that. It's only like $5, $6 at the most outside the deal, so you do the math with 25% off. If you want to gift people subscriptions, and a lot of people do during the month of September, it's 30% off. So you can help them enjoy ad-free viewing, and maybe they'll pick up the ball and run with subscriptions to their favorite streamers. I hope I'm one of your favorite streamers, and I would love to see the love. But folks, we don't require you to here. It really helps us in our purchasing. Right now, we are looking to add an aircraft to the fleet. I've got a lot of great ideas out there. One I can't find anymore, so I'm working on that. But it really does help us. So thank you so much. Fly 321N. Hey, thanks for the follow. We sure appreciate that. That means a lot to us. There's the other way you can subscribe, help us here in the Twitch world, by following us, folks. And that is free. All it does is just, if you've clicked notifications to allow to happen, you'll get an email letting you know when we're flying next. But again, thanks, Flight 321, for the follow. And for having our back there, letting us know we still had charts up. All right, now I am beginning to see down here, but again, we're a much wider view. So let's come in a little. Okay. Starting to wonder if I want to steepen this up. I think we're okay. We'll keep going and we'll see how we progress. We're doing about 2,100 feet a minute, so I think we're doing okay. So, but anyway, I wanted to put that out to you folks. If you're over at YouTube, hey, I know you're watching this as a replay. We'd love you to just hit that subscribe and notification bell. That way you're notified when the next video comes out, and you're supporting us in that way. It's free to subscribe over in YouTube. They do it a little different than Twitch, but we would appreciate that. Also, thumbs up, like us, folks, if you like what you see. So, all right, so here we go, folks, making the turn for Lull and LULVOR, and the initial for our arrival. For the arrival, not the actual approach, folks. That would be, what is this called? Luxeuil? You will? Sorry, folks, I am not good with French words. Now, at 46 miles from the airport, we dropped to 250. So I want to make sure we do that. And I'll show you how you do. It's real simple. About as simple as it is in the 737, if not easier. You'll see what I mean. All right. We are coming up on 20,000. Boy, it seems like it's just not coming down, but it's still doing 2,000 feet a minute. All right, let's go ahead, get LS on, constraints. It's not pulling them in yet. LS constraints. Okay, we're set up. So I hope you all have a great weekend coming up. I got to work tomorrow out at the airport. But like I said, it's now Saturday. I want to plug that here real quick. Wait, I'll wait a couple seconds here. My bad, I did not catch we were in an ad. I want to make sure our followers get the information. All right. I want to get this out so even our followers can join us Saturday. Don't have a time yet. May have it tomorrow. It's going to pretty much depend how I feel when I come home from work. It's a 24-hour shift I work, so how tired I am, I may need a nap. But anyway, we're going to take off from Viru, Bolivia, South America. We're going to go across most of the continent of South America to Rio de Janeiro. We're not going to the main airport, folks. We're going to go to an airport south and west of it in the Rio area. I think it's like an either original or a reliever or something of that desire, but we've got a request. That was a great request we got, and a little bit of a challenge behind it, he told me, so I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to be doing it in the 737 for those Boeing heads out there that like boings. So we'll get the Zebo out. How are we doing here? Are we going to make it? Right, because we got, and I know where some of this is getting kind of fouled here. All right, so we're headed now. Let me see, we're going to have to go into flight plan. ARPUS at 11. Altnic at 7.5, and then we got a manual. Actually, I hate to say this to you folks. Do we have BLM coming in yet? No. All right, I'm going to kind of watch my chart. 46 DME from BLM, which is at the airport. Folks, the airport we're going to is actually called EuroAirport Basel, BASEL, St. Louis, France. So you get a little bit of where the BLM, I don't know where the M comes from, but whatever. It's their airport, they can do as they please. There's 46. Okay, so we are going to slow. To 240. Pop the speed brakes to make it happen a little quicker. And we're going to get up here, get those wing lights on, and make sure everybody's in their seats. I think BLM just came on, and that is 39 miles out, so we are slowing appropriately. However, I may have to take over the descent when we get there, because the track here is minimum of 4. Okay. Okay, look at that, folks. And again, that's through the tinting. Here's what it looks like without the tinting. Okay, we are at 240. Bear with me as I put that speed brake back in. Don't want to arm it yet. All right, now that I've taken over the speed control, folks, And we're at 10,000. I'm going to go ahead and hit the lights. Okay, beams on. I'm going to get rid of this. At Altnick, we have a discontinuity that I have not closed up to get up here. All right, to the CF15. So what I'll do is turn us to a heading. Oh, we'll start off 360 and begin arcing around to come in on the 152 as best we can. And we're going to go ahead now and take over. And Altic is the centers all over the place. Uh-oh, who's LQSB? They haven't talked to me. Okay, I don't show anybody in my area, so I am not going to worry about it. Although I am showing some rain, maybe some intermittent reflections of the radar of possibly east of us. Actually, you know what? I just might close that off. I think I will. Clear? All right, so it will actually now take us direct to that point. I may still work us so that we do a better intercept on it. And we need a little bit of speed. Actually, I think we might be okay. Let's go with 5,000. All right, folks, so coming up on Altnick, which we're at St. Louis. Oops. St. Louis traffic Agel Unsel is over Altnick, the initial 415 ILS. $10.19. Okay, here we go. Speed brakes out. Okay. All right, let's go ahead, put her down to 210. As we're about to level off. All right, now the green dot, folks, is actually your flap speed, but below 230, you're safe. Flaps 1. All right, we're going to go ahead and arm up the speed brakes. Go for medium. Go to approach, and we should ease on over a little and get ready to grab that localizer. Okay, landing lights are on. Okay, and they want us at maximum here of 185. Okay, we're in the intercept point for the approach. All right, folks, welcome in. Thank you for being a part of the stream. If you like what you see, smash that follow button. Subscribe if you're over on YouTube. Thumbs up would be cool too. Okay, distance out 11 miles. And 4,000. I do believe we got a runway in sight, folks. And we were a little late getting on today because I just heard it in my mouth here, folks. At a dentist appointment, cleaning, and you know how they do that, I don't know, buff them with whatever, that gritty stuff. Well, I've still got some of that in my mouth. Yuck. All right. Gear down. Flaps 2. We're going to begin slowing to approach speed. At 160, we'll go flaps 3. 150, I'll put us in flaps 4. All right, here is your radar altimeter, folks. Remember, it's 1134. When it gets to that, it'll say minimums. Flaps full. Get the cabin ready. Lights are all on.
2,000.
St. Louis traffic angle Azure is 5 mile final 15. Runway inside, gear down. All right, and the fine tune is approach speed 130. Okay, so we'll dial down to that. Cabin's ready, all green on our little mini checklist here. And here we go, folks. Hope you're ready for the landing. Last minute predictions, folks. If you want, you got a couple of seconds here. Exclamation mark predict space and a negative number. Because I'm taking over and who knows what will happen. Roger, tower cleared to land 1-5.
1,000.
Runway is at our back. Go figure. Little steepening here. Go, pull back just a little. We said about 700 feet a minute. While we're watching your glide slopes here, localizer here, we're getting a little off course. Kick it a little bit.
400. 100 above.
Pay attention. 1134.
300. Minimum. 200.
Stable landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
All right. Way off the center line, but I don't think that was a bad landing. But then again, I said that yesterday, and what did we get gigged with? Oh my goodness. Welcome to St. Louis, France. Roger, over to ground. Aigle Azur 80. I think I got off earlier than I thought I would. Welcome again, St. Lazure. We are going down Bravo, I'm pretty sure. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go down Bravo, cut up in Echo. All right, flaps up. Brakes are off. Let's get the brake fans on. Turn off the terrain. Okay, while we're getting the lights up here. Starting that up. Push down, radar off, transponder. Go standby as we can for VATSIM. We're still on, folks, we're still on mode C, but we're not squawking Tara. T-A-R-A. For those going, what the heck is Tara? Here's Echo. I don't know. Maybe I'll go up another one. I don't know. It sounds good, folks. Anything missed on the landing? Engine mode, flaps. And we'll turn the APU on as we're ready to turn in. A second. Roger, stand 22. Alright folks, welcome back. We're just getting into the jetway area. We'll just call it there. Brakes are set. Okay, so what we've done so far, folks. We've got our APU master on and started and available. Okay, terrain radar's off, radar's off. Brake temperatures are cooling and brake ice APU bleed will come on. I'm going to kill number 2. Head up here, grab the bleed. And engine 1. Again, welcome St. Louis. Okay, beacon's coming off. And seatbelts. Hey, we got traffic on the ground. How about that? Let's get these doors opening up and start unloading these peeps. Oh, what happened here? I don't think anyone heard me. Dadgummit. Hang on a second, folks. All of a sudden, I've got a second aircraft here. I'm not sure if... Well, my apologies if I was not being heard on ATC. Oh, man. All right, well, okay, let me talk about that real quick. Folks, and I know I did this, it must have somehow disconnected. Make sure the call is lit up. Well, here, let me show you the easiest way to know. Okay, if you come on, let me get X-Pilot up here. Okay, this is how you should look to make sure you're able to transmit. Okay, also make sure you're on 122.8. Okay, so you can see that up top here. Now you got a bold TX, bold RX. Okay, you got those, and you got the volume turned up here. Guess what? You're golden. Do this. See how that TX went away? Now we got a problem. but your COM2 came alive. So that's what you got to make sure. Same thing here. If you get rid of that, you won't hear them. Turn it on, it comes on. So make sure these are on. Folks, I went through this problem and this box's problem with a couple of controllers. It took 2 or 3 flights to finally figure out that, hey, over here on the transponder, yeah, you can turn it on, turn it off. It don't do anything at all. Well, to me, auto means it should still be on. Flight factor 320 or maybe A320s, there's actually a standby here. But if you come down over here, look, mode C went off. So make sure you're in mode C with your lights on. By the way, you can't click it here. Can't click it there to get them both, which is actually a good thing. All right, enough on that. All right, so we got rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the overlay. And let's see what Millennium Aviation put us in at. Oh my goodness, I think they've already filed us. I think they have. I kind of like this new, what is this thing? Smart cars. Sorry, folks. I used to use Mac cars with them, and they're getting away from it, and now they're doing this. So I'm going to just make sure we're filed. New technology, you never know. Even though I'll be totally honest, if I wasn't, I don't know if I would know. Sure enough, it is pending. Well, I'll be. All right, let's close that out. Cool. All right. So enough of this screen. Oh, by the way, when we did that METAR, here it is. Now, the one thing I don't know how to do, ToLiss guys out there, I would sure love to know. How the heck do I pull this back up so I can read it without having to zoom in? Just curious if that's even a thing. So, I can't read the paper otherwise. Even if I do this, putting my hands on it, but I can't get it. Oh, there it went away, but I didn't want it to go away. I don't know. I don't know, folks. All right. Anyway, folks, let's take a look at Sim Toolkit, shall we? All right, looking over here, 176 feet a minute. Now, I did feel like that was a good landing. All right, and real quick, I'm going to kind of scan over here, zoom in a little bit more on the scan over so you can see the number. There was our V approach, 128. You can see it a little bit there on the corner. And did it have our actual landing speed on here? No. All right, well, you know, hey. Oh, it did in the FMC. It did. But the FMC is already cleared. So that's actually really good, folks. What we're showing there. Now let's get in there and look at it. Click on the flight. View details, shows you how we flew it. Quick synopsis, 2-hour, 10-minute flight, 682 nautical. Landed 1.2 Gs, 176 feet a minute at 129. 128 was VAP, so that's not bad. Let's take a look at the report, shall we? This is something I love about Sim Toolkit. Outstanding that they provide this. A lot of data right here, folks, for you to learn from. Okay, we already knew we were way over on the left side. I knew that. I couldn't I got the plane over and then it just kept going and I couldn't get it back. But I knew we'd make the runway, so no go around. But we went 2,200 feet down the runway. All right, real quick, here's where your threshold, that's the start of the usable landing runway, continuing down here on this view of it. Each hash mark is 500 feet apart, although that looks awful wide. Should be one right here, and I don't know why. It could just be the way Google is. But anyway, so here's where you visually aim for, folks. Again, like I said yesterday, right here is your glide slope tower. Optimally placed to put you right here if you follow it straight in. PAPIs are usually geared right here as well. This is the point where you can easily see and should be able to make, but so many factors go into whether we float, whether or not this, that, or the other. Okay, 500 feet down the runway are these hash marks. The last set is the end of what they call the landing zone. That's where you want to land the aircraft, knowing you should have enough runway to stop. Now, when we go on shorter runways, like the one in Sao Paulo that we've done a couple times now, it's only like 6,000 feet long. You're not going to get as many because you're going to start seeing the other ends rather quickly. And if you start seeing them at 150 knots, folks, prepare to go off the end of the runway. Here it's a really long displacement. Wow. So, but other places it could be right into the middle of a highway. That's how Chicago was till EMAS was put in. And if you're not familiar, they had a very horrible incident up there in the winter once. Southwest went off the end of the runway. Not getting into the details, I don't want to. A lot of bad things happened in that cockpit, and that's all I'm going to say. But the aircraft slid off the end of the runway. I want to say it was Cicero Avenue, but I could be wrong. It's bound by 4 major roads in South Chicago. Right into the intersection, killed a kid. Nobody on the plane got hurt, but killed a kid in a car in the intersection. So, a lot of lessons learned on that. A lot of stuff EMAS got put in. Basically what EMAS is crumbling concrete. So when you say, we'll just use this here. We'll call this EMAS instead of a blast pad. So say you run off of this. It's kind of like a runaway ramp. If you all are familiar with mountain roads where trucks take them, cars take them if you lose your brakes. Very similar except different material. It's actually concrete, but the weight of a plane crumbles it and surrounds it, engulfs it. There he is. It will stay on in that pack. Okay, that's the theory. I personally don't want to be the one to test it. So, and I'm sure many tests have been done and it does work. But you get my point. I don't want to be the one at Midway to test to see if it puts me in Cicero or not. So, very tragic accident that happened there. But again, no passengers killed, just a kid in a car in the intersection. All right, folks, so there you have it. We've unloaded the plane. The plane. I forgot. Did we put those in auto? If not, we're going to close it up. No, we did not. Auto. And auto. And auto. And close. That should get it to close and go away. Oh wait, I think it did the back one. Close. Door looks closed. J. Okay. And let's get rid of the chocks. Real quick look to make sure everything's cleared. All right, we're going to try it again, folks. We've had 2 for 2 so far in getting the replay done. So let's try it again. Oh, folks, if you're like that loose nut behind the stick like me, forget to disconnect from VATSIM before doing replay. It does it for you, as you just found out. All right, here we go. Oh, yes, I think we're going to... There we go. We'll just start from here. Let's get some appropriate music, maestro. Ah, wrong song there, maestro. Try that one. Okay, let's go ahead and watch what we did. See what we can learn. That's what these tools are all about, folks. See how far left we are, folks? We're still fine. You really got to be careful doing that on your runways because you are close to the edge. And for those who like screenshots, wait for the next side because, oh, what the heck. All right, let's get on to the other side. I'm gonna go back out one more time, a little further out. We'll go from here. Let's take a look from the cockpit window. And everything's looking good descent-wise. See how the red over a little high, hence why we didn't make theirs. See how prominent they are? And we just couldn't get the nose over.
20, retard, 10, right.
Boy, what a beautiful landing. All right, let's take a look at how some of our passengers witness this.
2,
Because they really wouldn't have known we were off. Oh man, talk about kissing the runway. Boy, this is a pretty area. Talk about kissing that runway. Wow. Let's go out one more time, take a look at it from the front of the aircraft coming in. One more time from the tower, and then we're going to wrap things up, folks. No, we're not. All right. We're not going to be able to see it from the tower. Wow. All right, folks. Well, we're going to go ahead, call it a day, call it a great flight. Let's go back to the gate. Well, folks, I want to say this much. Thank you so much for being a part of Flying with Mike today. What a pleasure it has been to fly this route. Just amazing how everything looks. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Let's do it that way. All right, there we go. There you see it, getting ready to be unloaded again. Oh, we got to get chocks on. I didn't do that. Anyway, folks, I just want to say I hope you all have a great weekend. We will be back Saturday. Not sure, like I've been saying all day, what time yet. But the flight is Viru, Bolivia to Rio. Not Rio de Janeiro International, but the other, I don't even know the name off the top of my head. But we'll see you all then. I hope, like I said, you have a safe Friday and a safe weekend if you're not able to join us. So for now, we will let you all go. Have a great day. We'll see you then. God bless. See you then.